Give me just 8 minutes and I can change your trading life. That's right, just 8 minutes, because in this 8 minutes I'm going to give you some of the best tips that I can give you that I wish I knew if I was starting my trading career again. And I'm going to target this for those who've actually got a little bit of knowledge and who've actually kind of tried to get trading. What I mean by try is that they state the statistics of people who fail in trading is up to 90% that fail. But I don't believe that statistic is true. Why? Because a lot of people that's included is I open up a broker account, kind of trade, then move on. But you watching, because the reason is if you clicked on this is like, I want to change my trading, is that you're part of this another percentile. That another percentile is basically you are doing whatever it takes. I call this the vision phase, and I really remember this like so specifically. And it goes on to, you're in this phase of year 2, year 3, where you're just working so hard, doing 16 hours, back test after back test. You've got a strategy or you've got your to-do list, but it's just not clicking. You're just not hitting that profitability that you can see. You're just not where you're at. But here are some main things that changed my life, and I guarantee you it will change yours. So I'm going to call this, as we call this, the Unfiltered series. And the first thing I want to say is that compound. And you've heard me say it again if you've seen any of my contents, but compound. The thing is, 1%, 2% is a lot of money, right? $5 is a lot of money. $5. If you can understand this changes everything. Why? Well, think about it. If you can make, ask yourself right now, can you make $5 from trading? Just 5. If you close today at $5, what would that look like? You'd be $5 up. I remember learning this in the markets and very early in my career. I was thinking, well, can the opportunity give me 20 pips a day? That's what my mentor first taught me. Then I derived that down by saying, could I make £20 a day? Now, £20, and why I got back down to £5 was because I couldn't consistently make £20. I feel like one day I'd hit it and make £20, try and go for 60, try and go for 100, and you guys know what I mean, right? The overtrading, the greed, that kind of thing happens. So then I thought, what about £5? £5 doesn't mean anything right now. Significantly, it doesn't change my life. But guess what? It does in the long run. Why? £5, 10 times is £50. You can do that another 10 times, that's 500. Do another 10 times, 5,000, 50,000, 500,000, 5 million. And what's the difference? It's compounded with time. And 5 million would definitely change a lot of people's lives. So I think that if you can really understand that and, really respect money and give it the respect it deserves, it would therefore respect you. And then in turn, you'll be able to grow your account. You'll be able to get the profits. You'll be able to pass on the challenges because you're compounding 1%, 0.5%, and taking it from there. Now, let's move on to the second thing. So after we have respected 1 and 2%, the second thing that we must in tune is to understand that losing money is part of the game. So easy to say. But the hardest thing in trading is that we do everything right, but the trade loses. But that is still the main thing. If the trade loses, but you've done everything right, that is exactly what trading is about. Does that make sense? And that's kind of the hardest bit to get through. Why? Because here's the logic behind it, like the psychological logic is, if I take this trade, I believe it can win because number one, it's the edge. Like, we've already gone into this by assuming it can win. If we've clicked this button, we have assumed it will win, right? Like, we cannot deny that. Why? Because we're taking this trade because we want to make money over a period of time. We believe the edge is working. So we have a mindset that this trade will win and give us a profit. But now let's think about it. If we snapped back and said this trade could lose, it changes everything. So if the win happens, that's cool. But this is what I call a win-win mindset or an infinite mindset. If I go into the trade and I think that it's going to lose, if it loses, I'm okay. But if I go into the trade and I think it's going to win and it loses, I'm not okay. Do you know what I mean? And I know you definitely feel that. So if we can change our attachment, if we can change our mindset and our approach, disassociate and disattach, that's exactly what I say, detach from it completely. Guess what? Doesn't that make trading a lot easier? Doesn't it make your life a lot easier as well? And here's one of the hardest things. As you grow and you mature, becoming calmer, becoming more peaceful, becoming more stoic, it's incredibly hard. But it's incredibly possible. And sooner or later, you're going to have to do it. Why? Because it's part of being a profitable trader. And these are two things that could change your life already. Imagine if you went to the gym. I want to be in shape now. Okay, great. Well, let's compound it. I'm going to go every single day. And not only that, I'm going to go today understanding that I'm not going to lose my belly fat today, but it's going to go over a period of time. Now, these are some extra things that I would say. Is journaling. People say, yeah, okay, cool, you should journal, whoop-de-doo, like you should put it down, but you can't manage what you don't measure. You can't measure what you don't manage. It's Tony Robbins' rule, and it's one I live by. And I think the most important thing is what we think is not true. It's kind of crazy. Like, it's what we think is not true. So, for example, I could say, hey, bananas are really healthy for me. I could take a blood test, and it could say, well, it spikes my insulin. It's actually not good for me, And that's the difference between what you think and true data. And it's a very fine line, and that's kind of the beautiful part of life, but also a very realistic part of life, is what do you think and feel, and what is the truth? Now, it's okay not to always go with the truth. Sometimes, like love, you want to follow with your heart. That's cool, you do you. But at the same time, data is proven. If that person is not meant for you because time and time again, statistically, they have let you down, it doesn't matter how you feel. They're not right for you. Do you understand? So it's really important to understand the journal, because it's the same thing as a trade now. Now let's put this into relatability. Well, if I keep taking this setup on Monday and I've got a 90% losing rate on Monday, it's just funny to even say that out loud. Should I be trading Monday? Just go play some golf, go play some paddle, go live your life. It's trader lifestyle, right? That's kind of the craziest things. Is like, we get into trading to live this trader lifestyle, but we don't actually pursue and live the trader lifestyle. If you have to be profitable, you've got this obsession, this knack, and you generally just are a bit obsessive and you just overwork and do. So it's really hard to let go when you get there. Now, the final thing I want to talk about is don't let anyone tell you otherwise. This is that last motivation. And I'll say it in as many ways as I possibly can in this year, is you've got that vision because God has planted that in your head. Seriously, like, think about it. You have this watch, this car, this family member, the person you want to give back to, it's yours. Think of someone right now that you love and that you want to give back to. That person automatically comes into your mind. Mine is my mum. But I know exactly what my mum looks like. I know exactly what I would do for her, how she would feel, how she would react. And that vision is so clear in my head, and I'm sure you have exactly the same one. You're going to buy your parents that business class. You want to buy your parents, this and do that for them and do all of these amazing and magical things. And the craziest thing is that if you can see it and you believe it, with a bit of grace, you can definitely achieve it. And I'm sure you've heard this from many other people. It's not just me. I'm no one special. I'm honestly no one special. I'm incredibly grateful for my life, and I've done incredibly well for myself, but it's me versus me. But I really want you to really take this, especially if you've watched this far into the video, you definitely feel the energy of this video, because it's so hard to portray, because yeah, you're watching me through this little box. But regardless of that, right now you're thinking about that loved one and what it would mean to you if you can achieve it. It would just feel so fulfilling. That's part of life. So that last message to you is, no one else can see that vision, so hold on to it. Don't let anyone tell you can't do it. Don't even let your parents, don't even let me tell you can't do it. Just keep hold of it, keep working towards it, and we'll see you in the next 8 minutes. Peace.